There you go. Anytime I take the mute off, Tooch, you could come into the show.
I played the close instead of the open. Boom.
That's right. Make sure you tell everybody your name today. Hi, you call me. I'm Tooch, but you can call me Tooch.
Grizz is here. Foster's here. He's got a gambling problem. Foster covers. Yep. I asked Foster if he is related to Foster Wonders, the University of Green Bay player on the Phoenix basketball. There's Foster Covers and Foster Wonders. And the coach's name is Sundan Wicks. Sean, Green Bay.
Listen, Green Bay is the now I think second best team in the Horizon. Just crazy.
Yep. Yeah. We used to fade them. Anthony, I would fade them so much over the past couple of years.
First place.
All right. We're welcome to Weekend Sports Betting Tips with Sean, Anthony, and Tooch. We are going to be talking a little, and give us your questions, chat. Super Bowl recap. A little bit. I thought we should talk a little bit about it. Chiefs end up winning. I wanted to ask them. Aldo had asked me this question. It was, when the Chiefs won, did the books lose a bunch of money because the Chiefs were everybody was on the Chiefs?
No, because everybody was on Niner futures.
Niners just to make the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Or win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right?
So, I mean, remember Kansas City was not playing good down. They were not playing good at Christmas time. I mean, they lost at home on Christmas, which was a month ago. So, or a month before the Super Bowl. So they weren't playing well. But yeah, interesting game. I mean, I thought it was kind of lackluster for an overtime game that came down to a last second score with 30 seconds left. You thought it would be an edge of your seat game. I never got that feeling from it. The Chiefs, you got a fluky punt that bounced off a other player's foot, turned into a touchdown. But then you know what? The Niners answered the call. They went down and scored themselves and had an extra point blocked. So that doesn't happen. And it's 17-16. What is happening here? Then it's 17-16. Are the Chiefs going for it? Do they are not even at 17-16, 17-13? Do they kick a field goal? Do they go for it? Do they say, we'll kick a field goal. Our defense has been good all game. 5.5 minutes left. We kick a field goal. We hold them. We get the ball back, and Mahomes could do what he does, right? That's what he did at the end of the first half.
Yep.
But maybe McCaffrey does run and gets a first down, and they win that game 17-13. I think it really came down to the muffed. It's not even a muff punt. I mean, it's a fluke punt off of the guy's foot and a missed extra point. We had a Mahomes interception. Who guy hadn't thrown an interception this playoffs. I mean, he's thrown a few of them in the playoffs. That's a rarity to see him throw an interception. A McCaffrey fumble, which is rare.
Yep, a lot of
fumbles on the 5-yard line. I mean, You had some weird plays. It was just I don't know. It wasn't I don't think it was a fun game. It was all right, I guess. It was what it was. But for a game that came down to last 30 seconds to go, I don't know. Was it that exciting? I don't know. Dramatic, maybe.
First half was atrocious. First half, I was ready to turn it off.
Boring.
Right after half.
Right, boring. 10-3.
I texted you guys. I was like, this first half has to be the worst first half of any Super Bowl I've ever watched. I mean, maybe the Patriots-Rams has to be the worst Super Bowl that I've watched, but that first half of this game was just atrocious. No first fourth down attempts. I mean, it was just defense. Like, I did not expect that. But at the end of the day, at the second half was just cursed. Niners were cursed going into the game. We know the biggest mush on the planet nuked the Niners, and that was the end of the day. At the end of the day, all those punts hitting the foot, missed extra point, they were cursed going in.
And the total was set at 47.5 and finished at 47 points.
And what did I tell you guys? I told you guys all week. I was like, this total is super sharp. It's going to land between 45 and 50.
Yep.
I mean, if anyone says that the total over or under is the easiest play, they don't know how to bet the NFL.
Yeah, I had no idea.
It was razor sharp. I was leaning under, but it was razor sharp.
Yep. It was 48.5, went to 47.5, then 47, and 47,
And Sean,
And at the end of the day, Sean had the two best props
the best plays
out of
Yep.
the whole
Just
Super
about to
Bowl.
say.
He found the diamond in the rough. Mahomes rush over 4.5
4.5.
rushes and the fourth down conversions.
He had 8.
Easy.
Finished with 8.
He had it beginning of the week, and that was by far when there's just something that just goes off, and it's like, oh my God, that's it.
That's the one, right? Yeah.
So I mean, great find by you. I mean, that was it.
Sean and I gave out a bunch of
Oh,
props on the show. Anthony was out sick, and I think most of them hit. You know,
Yeah.
the ones that Sean and I
MVS.
gave out.
We
yeah.
cashed the MVS. People thought me and Sean were crazy by taking MVS props, but they cashed the longest reception and the total
Over
yardage.
14 and a half. That was your free
total
play.
yards 15 or 20 yards reception. Come on. That's one
The only
pass
thing
from.
that we were wrong on was me and Sean predicted one catch would cover both props.
Yes.
Mhm.
It took 3 catches and one of them to be a negative yardage.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that?
I thought he'd have like a 27-yarder on like just one
Yeah.
play or something.
Yeah. I was like, all it takes is one little floater in the middle. Boom,
Yep.
caught it. And I mean, maybe he's going to bobble it and for the dramatics, but yeah.
Yeah.
Either
And then
way,
he had, not that I had him this game, I had him their first Super Bowl, Cole Hardman. He scores a touchdown this one like 3 years too late for me. Where
Yeah.
3 years ago, I would have been driving a Bentley if the guy would have freaking made a touchdown. Like he was so off the board. Yeah, he jumps through this year. I don't have him.
Every prop I played won. I played Nick Bosa over 3.5 tackles and assists. He had 8. Elijah Mitchell longest rush over 3.5. He had his first run was 7 yards.
Yep.
The Mahomes prop that Sean gave, and then I had Harrison Butker over 1.5 field goals made. Easy money. He had 4 field goals. It's like
the only props I lost all weekend or for the Super Bowl was Pacheco props. I played his anytime touchdown, and I played his over rushing yards. And
who's thinking he's not getting in a game like that? The guy doesn't get a.
Yeah.
So this is my theory on that, and then we can like get to the good stuff. But
yeah.
I really think Matt Nagy was calling the plays in the first half because it was
that's the rumor.
Is it me or did anyone catch it? It was the worst rush calls plays. It's just up the middle.
Horrible.
Up the middle. And then the one fumble wasn't even his fault. Mahomes threw it behind him.
Threw it behind McCaffrey.
But let's blame Pacheco for that one. Let's blame Pacheco.
Yep.
But
let's see. This is Bears Barroom, former Bears Barroom Network, and Anthony wanted to talk about this one. This is a prop bet. Bears 2024 starting quarterback prop. Caleb Williams minus 300 or Justin Fields plus 120.
So I saw this.
I want to put money on Fields plus 120. You guys.
I saw this prop on Twitter, and I think it's either FanDuel or DraftKings. One of those is offering this prop. And I talked to Tooch about it, and I was like, at the end of the day, who's going to be the quarterback? And at the end of the we came to a conclusion. Because they kept Eberflus, they're going to keep Fields.
Yes.
I think
because they would have interviewed Kingsbury because he works directly with Caleb Williams. The offensive coordinator they hired is, if he can turn Geno Smith from shit to gold, he can turn Justin Fields into a Pro Bowler, maybe MVP. Yeah. I mean,
why not?
We don't know Geno Smith. Me and Tooch were like, dude, this guy's atrocious. And then this guy's MVP caliber.
I've been saying this the entire season about Fields. You have to keep him.
You have to.
Oh, he's once in a lifetime. Okay. You have Eberflus. So when you win 4 games again next year because you have no offense, then you get rid of the head coach. Then he gets another head coach, a new coordinator. Now it's year 2, another step forward. So it's year 3. So now you're 4 years into this guy. And what are we going to do because we only won 6 games? Oh, we got there's some new wet dream quarterback that's going to be the next big thing. So it's 2030 and you look for another quarterback.
Yeah.
Keep Fields. Listen, trade. I don't know if they're going to get some big haul like, we're going to get like 5 first-round picks from Washington. If you get a first-round pick I'd rather, if you get one this year, next year, super. I want to take give me your first 2 picks for this year, next year, like second round or first, or a 1, 2, 3 for this year and a 2 for, a 1 for next year and a 2 and a set, whatever. Obviously you want some picks. Then at 2, I'm taking the wide receiver. I'm taking Harrison.
Yep.
I'm taking a wide receiver, and then I have an extra pick down the line in the second round too as well to I could trade him down for and get
The
two better
Bears
picks
have
in the
no-
third round.
The Bears have
You
no
need to
second-round pick.
add good players.
You
It's that
don't
simple.
make that trade with Washington without McLaurin in the package. Plain and simple. Fields worked with McLaurin when he was with Ohio State, and they were phenomenal.
Yeah, but he's
You'll have
also
three
getting
guys
Harrison. Didn't
all
he?
work together.
Didn't he play with Marvin Harrison at all or no?
Well, they work on. They do that on the side, outside of practice.
I don't. I
Did they
Fields
play
might,
together? Or
Fields-
is Harrison just a
They
sophomore?
practice together.
They might have had one season together. Harrison.
Oh, Harrison. I don't know about that. I don't know.
Fields has got 3 years in the NFL, and
That's
Harrison,
right. That's right. Has he been here 3 years? Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
But he's worked with Olave. He's worked at McLaurin in Ohio State.
I don't know if they're going to put. Why are you going to give up your wide receiver on top of it? Because then now you need a wide receiver too. Now Washington.
Yeah, that's their problem. We'll take their number 2 pick.
Oh yeah,
McLaurin,
I
and it's number
listen.
2 pick for next year. Or
I
number
get it.
2
I want everything I can get, but I don't know if Washington's going to do that. They're like, oh, that's all right.
Hey,
Yeah,
you want them? You got to pay. Plain
What do they pick? What's Washington picking? 2?
2. Yep.
All right, we'll take Drake May. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
On to the next. That's fine.
Again, I want Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams didn't show me anything, and we had a guy come in. Was it last week? Tooch, all the Caleb Williams stats he's putting up here. Oh, I'm not sold on Caleb Williams. I'm not sold on a big crybaby who says he wants to be an owner of a team. I want part ownership. I don't want to be drafted by his team. Well, good. I don't want anything to do with a wacko like that. Because you didn't win jack. You won jack in college, bro. Now you come to the NFL. Yeah, good luck. If you can't handle Pac-12 losing, dude, you're not going to be able to handle Chicago. I'm not even a Chicago person. I can just imagine what the fans are like up there.
I would take Drake May over Caleb Williams just for the level of better players he's played against. I mean, my God, May play with zero defense, and he did just as good as Dale Williams, but he had tougher competition. Who did Caleb Williams have to play? UCLA, Utah?
Utah, UCLA, and Oregon.
Yeah, big deal. He had a cupcake otherwise. As a Drake May, he's been playing some much, much better teams and a lot more future NFL players.
You take Caleb Williams and you're in a rebuild for the next 3 or 4 years.
And you're going to have
that's if you don't fire the head coach.
And you're going to have personal problems because this dude is bringing a lot of baggage with him. When daddy's coming and talking for you, you got some issues.
No, let him go to Washington. He knows Kingsbury out there. So
he can have him. They can have him.
If they were going to take Caleb Williams, they would have gotten rid of Matt Eberflus.
Yeah,
exactly.
100%. And
hired somebody that's a quarterback.
They would have got Kingsbury. No. That's the only reason Washington signed Kingsbury is because they feel like they can get Caleb Williams.
Yep.
It's all in there.
And I'll tell you what, they're like,
after crap and Bears are expected to keep
the Bears are going to take this guy. That's fine. And then I'll trade Justin Fields. I'll give you a number 2 for Justin Fields. And I have Marvin Harrison Jr. and I have McLaurin. And I have Justin Fields. And I got a offensive coach in Kingsbury who could maybe make him good.
Yes.
Sounds good to me. I got 2 wide receivers and a guy who can run the ball and could improve a little bit passing. They're better off just trading a number 2 pick for Justin Fields.
I wonder how. I wonder how many teams are going to really want to put together a package for Caleb Williams.
There's going to be a few teams. There will be a few teams.
Who's moving up for a team? Who wants him? Let's go.
I don't know. Either Washington, Arizona, New England.
Arizona's paying Kyler Murray $40 million a year.
Yep.
So who's taking that contract?
Yeah.
What team? Who? Carolina? Carolina just drafted a quarterback.
Yep.
The Saints?
I can see Atlanta puts a small package together.
Atlanta could.
Washington put a package together.
I don't know. I don't think Atlanta will. I think Atlanta's in a win now kind of mode. That's a team that should be looking to get Russell Wilson in there
or Justin Fields. That's Fields' hometown.
They're going to offer something, whether it's Caleb the pick or Fields, one or the other.
I need a veteran. You know what? Give me Gardner Minshew.
But the Falcons have zero defense. You go to the Falcons and you got to score 35 plus points a game just to win the game.
They have 2 pretty good cornerbacks, though. I mean,
but look at the scores, man. Look at
Carolina.
No pass.
Bryce Young looks terrible.
That team run for shit.
Carolina's winning 2 games next year. They are trash.
Yep.
They have no offensive line.
Have a defense. Their offense is terrible.
Carolina's defense is not bad.
Yeah, the Saints could put together a package.
If you look at Carolina's stats, they've just been the defense is on the field the entire game.
It's exactly, but the offense isn't going anywhere.
Well, it's because of the offensive line. Young is playing like
is
Justin
terrible.
Fields did 2 years ago, running for his
He's
life.
terrible.
Well,
Young is
Williams could
terrible.
sit behind Derek Carr in New Orleans.
They would not. They're not sitting him. They'll throw him
No,
right into the
they're-
wolves.
They're not doing.
They don't
that.
let. Why would you want a guy sit and turn him into Jordan Love? That's a terrible idea.
Yeah,
Let's
Jordan
throw
Love.
him to the
Aaron
wolves,
Rodgers.
and he
Aaron
looks like
Rodgers
Bryce
sat
Young.
behind Favre. Love sat behind Rodgers.
I mean, Jameis Winston threw 30 touchdown passes. Guy can't get a starting gig.
Because he throws just as many interceptions. That's why.
I'm just saying. There's a lot of guys who do worse. Look at some of these quarterbacks. Come on,
Hey,
we have
you
to start
know
with the
what?
quarterback.
Winston is one of the nicest guys in the league. But
Do we have to go through the quarterbacks? How many good quarterbacks are there? 6?
Yeah, 5, 6. That's it. Yep.
10 now would you want taking over your team? 10? And everybody else is – everybody's all the same.
That's true. Yeah, we talked about what the stud quarterbacks. There's what Mahomes,
It's Mahomes.
Josh Allen, Joe Burrow.
I'm going to say
Justin
Mahomes.
Herbert.
Probably number 2 would be Lamar because he's a little healthier. Allen is still a little too cowboyish. Joe Burrow's been hurt. Yeah, but he gets hurt.
Justin Herbert.
I got to see what he does with a real coach. I don't know how good he is.
And some talent around him.
There you go. What do you have?
After that, what is there?
What do you have?
Matt Stafford, I put him up there.
Stafford, yeah, but he's on this other side of, age-wise.
Right, but he's still a stud.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's all you got. What do you got? You got Kirk Cousins puts up numbers. Dak puts up numbers. You want to say Hurts or Tua? Come on.
Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, you're right. So people will be looking to grab Williams, and the Bears should be sticking with Fields.
Straight away.
It's huge. It's huge, man. I mean, the thing is, like, the temptation to add picks, trade for
Foster. The NFL didn't win money in the Super Bowl. Vegas won. The sportsbook won on a Super Bowl. They won on the Super Bowl. The books won.
All right. NCAA basketball futures and Final Four thoughts. Sean, do you hold any futures for NCAA champion?
None.
Not
None.
this year,
I didn't
right?
jump into any college basketball futures this year.
Okay. Have you in the past, though? You've done it in the past, right?
In the past, I have. And even now, you can still kind of find a little bit of kind of, not value, but I just, UConn, obviously, I think is
last year's champion.
Really good. I mean, they're 6-7 point favorites tomorrow over Marquette.
Yeah, who's the number 4 team in the country?
I mean, that's one of those. Are they begging to take Marquette? Right. I thought that line would be 5. It's a 7. Yeah. I hate to say Purdue, but they just. I mean, these guys.
They always
forget about playing a close game. They were 20-point favorites.
Didn't they lose last year in the first round to Fairleigh Dickinson?
They lost. They got upset.
That was awesome.
But I mean, they're 22 this year. I don't. I don't.
22-2.
I don't know if I trust them. I like North Carolina.
Yeah. I put North Carolina. And then
it's going to be who in the SEC? Alabama, Auburn going on a run. Yeah. Maybe Tennessee. Maybe Kentucky turns it around. And then the Big 12, you're going to have somebody. Baylor.
Yep. Houston.
Kansas, Houston. One of those teams. And that's it. I don't think Arizona. I was going to say Arizona, but they've really struggled lately. They don't look.
It's a Pac-12. That's all you got to say. Pac-12.
Why do I feel like maybe Illinois does something to go on a little run? Possibly. But this isn't one of those seasons where anybody could win. I mean, I'd be shocked if it wasn't 4 schools out of you can have a Big East team and then ACC, Big 12, Big 10. I mean, smaller squads. I mean, Houston's in the Big 12 now, but still, they're more of a.
I think the Big 10 is weak this year. I
do. Yeah, I don't think they're great, but I think Illinois in a good draw could do some stuff.
Don't be fooled by Illinois.
We'll see. I mean, I like Maryland tomorrow because the line is 2, which is an odd line for a time.
Which is like immediately I was like, ooh, I really like Illinois, but Sean's like, don't get suckered into that.
Yeah, don't get suckered.
It's the same as last week with Wisconsin and Rutgers.
Yeah.
Saturday.
There's a couple of those. You got Iowa in that spot. You got Maryland. You got Oklahoma.
Yep.
Butler's another one getting 2.5 from
versus Creighton.
Good team, a ranked team in Creighton.
Yeah, Butler's tough, man.
That line is the same as the Marquette line. Marquette was ranked in the top 5, and Creighton's ranked in the top 20, and they're still getting the same amount of points. That's all you need to know to take Butler.
Yep. Anthony, any thoughts? Final four thoughts? You hold any futures for
No.
basketball?
I thought about it. I looked at it. There's really not enough price for me to take it. To me, there's a good 12 teams. Any of the 12 teams can win. There's about 4 or 5 teams from the Big 12. I'm not counting the Big 10. There's one. I mean, it's UConn or anyone in the Big 12.
If
or
you
North Carolina.
Tooch, if you really want to jump into like a basketball future of college, you got to grab that in like June.
Yeah.
Like May or June. Like right after, you got to think, you know what? I think this team's going to be good, and grab something like 40-1.
Yep.
Because by November, everybody's going to be on like, here come all the preview magazines. Oh, these guys are going to be a trendy sleeper pick, and then it's 12-1, and it's, you know.
I mean,
that's something you got to say.
8-1 is not enough value for me. 8-1.
You take $100 and say, I got 4 teams. I put 25 each on 20 or longer long shots.
Yeah.
Or, $10 on 10 thing. Spread them out a little bit, but they got to be something bigger than 20 plus.
I did do about 4 or 5 baseball futures so far, but we'll talk about baseball in a couple weeks once spring training starts.
UConn is plus 650, Purdue plus 650.
There's not enough value there.
Houston plus 950, Arizona plus 1200.
Anything can happen from here to now, and once the tournament starts, it's wide open. Just when you think they went
650 UConn, I'm not gonna say no to. If you want to put a little something on a plus 650,
but I'm sorry, an 8-1. Say
throw $20 on UConn plus 650 was $130.
I mean, they're gonna be a 1 seed.
I'm not getting a throw out of $20 out of that.
Well, exactly. It's 100 for 650. Like, all right,
I'll do 100,
worth it for 650. But again, you could add maybe something better for the season.
I have a feel. I just don't feel like it's going to be someone besides UConn. Someone's going to knock off UConn.
It's tough to go back to back.
It's really hard to go back to back. And this team has a target on their back because everybody knows they're the team to beat. And they're not just the team to beat. They're this team is not just winning. They're destroying people.
How many in a row have they won?
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. Well, is this Purdue's year? Are they going to choke again?
No.
I mean, they make it awful tough with Edie in the
Purdue
middle.
Purdue will lose in the
13
Sweet 16
straight,
or leading
17.
Purdue won't pass
13 straight, huh? 16 of their last 17. All right.
Depending on who they play, but if they have to face against UConn, say they make it to the Final Four, I'll take UConn all day.
UConn is 15-10 against the spread. They lost a true road game in Kansas in a dogfight, 69-65, and then lost to the Hall in that spot where they were out in Gonzaga, beat Gonzaga on a neutral, but it was really 5 miles from the Gonzaga school. Then they came back east.
That was last year, though. That's the end of the
year. It's the end of the year, December. But I'm just saying that's their 2 losses.
Yeah, that's their 2
losses. At Kansas, which isn't a bad loss. I don't care how bad Kansas.
No.
Teams win. Winning on the road is difficult. We say this all the time. That's why you see a team that's ranked number 4 getting a touchdown and teams that are ranked in the top 10 as underdogs or 1-point faves on the road. It is tough to win. But yet this team has a loss at a top 10 team by 4, which a game it was closer than the final. And you lost to the Hall and just a bad spot all around. It was
a bad game. They just had a bad game.
It's
every
go undefeated.
But that Kansas loss, when they're fully healthy and they're going, they can go toe-to-toe versus anyone. Yeah. And that was the team I was talking about earlier, Sean. It wasn't Kentucky. I put KU. When I say KU, it's Kansas.
It's Kansas. Yeah, UK would be Kentucky. He was a sure because we had talked about Kentucky. That's why he probably thought Kentucky.
I got you.
Bubble props. Nebraska to make the tournament minus 115. Wake Forest minus 190. Texas A&M minus 280. Butler minus 130.
See, I'm not good at that stuff. I don't know.
See, I don't want. I think Wake Forest. My initial lean was on Wake Forest today, but I ended up taking Virginia minus 2.5. Revenge spot. They're home, and now it's up to 3.5.
Yeah,
I think Wake is in.
Yeah, I do too.
They'll end up with 20 wins, and they'll win a game in the ACC tournament. So they'll be in with 21 wins or whatever.
Yeah,
I think they get in. I want to see who's the plus money. What kind of plus money bubble teams are there?
Let's see.
That's what I want to see.
Utah plus 105. Seton Hall plus 200. St. John's plus 145. SMU plus 260. Drake plus 255 right down the street from me. Nevada plus 105. Colorado plus 350. Ole Miss plus 160.
Colorado plus 350, maybe. Yeah, I could do that because
I could
I
see
think
that.
the
We'll probably have
Pac-12
to
is
get a-
kind of wild.
They
have
you
to
know
get
what?
a at-large bid probably.
They have it.
Colorado.
They can go. They might be facing Arizona in the finals in the Pac-12 championship, conference
Yeah,
championship.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They have to. They'd have to get an at-large bid. Did they beat? They beat Arizona, did they already?
I think Colorado's not bad. Plus
Colorado's
money there, I take a shot. And I'll tell you what, I would take a Stanford to win the Pac-12. Believe it or not.
Let's see. Who
Yeah,
else?
listen.
That's it for the Providence plus 190.
And the Oakland A's are going to
Stanford beat Arizona. They've beaten UCLA.
Yep.
in the
They
conference.
beat Utah. They beat Washington. I mean, they've beaten everybody in conference.
Mhm.
They've beaten everybody.
That's all you, my friend.
But that's where you want. That's where you make money on a team that's beating every team. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
You
I would
beat
take
the-
my chances with. I would take Washington before I take Stanford.
Purdue to make the. I don't think there's a prop because.
But are you really going out on the road taking a Washington team that's
Purdue to win the
I have more.
championship.
I just I would feel more comfortable.
Grizz, Purdue.
Purdue,
Our guy Ninja.
That's like a minus 10,000.
Yeah. I mean,
hold on.
to
Team
make the tourney?
futures.
I would
Purdue,
take Purdue to win a tournament, though.
Purdue to win the tournament is plus 650.
I'd say no to that. Just because the pressure's on them. They choked last year, and if they get in a close game, it's over. It's over. They'll be out in the second round. They won't be able to handle that. It'll be choke city.
So in the past couple years, last year had Fairleigh Dickinson was a Sweet 16 team. They upset Purdue in the first round. Year before that was St. Peter's. They went to what, Elite Eight? I went to the Elite Eight.
Yeah, that was a crazy. I couldn't believe St. Peter's.
I couldn't either. They were covered machine. This year, what about St. Mary's to make the Elite Eight?
I was going to
like
say, if we were going to go off the grid, the Gales, dude, they play some defense. Tooch, I mean, Andy's shaking his head. I don't know if he's.
Look who they're playing against, guys. They're playing versus high school teams. Have you seen some of the players that they're playing against? I mean, these guys have bigger guts. They can't even see their own dick. That's the players they're playing against. And of course, they look good because they're playing against guys that shouldn't even be on the court.
How about Gonzaga?
Gonzaga's a good team.
They started out bad. They started out 5-5.
The Gales started out bad. Yep. I'm trying to find their.
You won at Colorado State. You won at UNLV on a neutral.
Yep.
I mean, you beat a team 71-34. I don't care how bad Mid Tennessee State is. 34 points. I mean, come on.
Are they playing tomorrow?
They have San Francisco coming up on Sunday.
Okay, so Sunday they're playing. All right. Yeah, not non-conference. Who have they played? You said Colorado?
They beat Colorado State.
Colorado State.
They beat New Mexico. Beat them pretty good, 72-58. They lost to San Diego State on a neutral. Lost to Xavier. Xavier loss is a bad one. Lost to Utah.
Was that at Xavier?
That was a neutral. I don't know where that was.
Neutral
some
site,
kind of tournament.
Yep.
Probably in Bahamas or somewhere. Paradise Jam or whatever they're playing.
Xavier's not bad. They're a bit tough at home, man. Nevada. JoJo Loco.
They started 4-5.
Yep.
They are 21-6.
They went 17-1. Ripped off 17 of the last 18. But
the only bad thing about that is they're going to be like a 14 or 15 seed, and they're facing Tennessee.
St. Mary's?
No,
St. Mary's not going to be a 14 seed.
They'll be an 8 seed.
That high?
Yeah.
This is we're not talking Mount St. Mary's out of the AA match. We're talking the WCC champ. They're going to
Gales.
They'll beat Gonzaga, who everybody has who's in love with. They're going to be like probably a 4 seed or 5. Yeah, I don't think they'll be an 8. I don't think they'll be that far down.
But just think about it. They're going to be playing.
They'll be from 8 to 5, Sean.
They'll be facing like an Ole Miss.
I know Pacific is bad. They
South
beat them
Carolina.
76-28.
I know.
They gave up 40 points to 3 teams. A Pacific on the road, again, it's Pacific. You can 43, 49 at Santa Clara, 46 against Kent State, 34 mid Tennessee. I mean,
defense travels in the tournament. That's why I like Houston, but I'm not impressed with Houston's offense that much, man. I think that there's times where they have some dry spots.
Well,
I
they
do like
play
Houston,
they
but-
play the toughest teams in.
Oh, I know. But they're still 21-3. Their final life's a little bit tougher in the Big 12, but they're still 21-3.
They just don't win in a sexy fashion. That's the
No,
reason.
no.
You know, that's the reason. A W is a W at the end of the day.
They're probably a Final Four. They're probably a Final Four team.
You never know.
Houston. Yeah.
You never know. You know what? We're not going to know who has a real chance until conference time comes, because whoever gets hot, that's the team to hot pot. It's just like MLB.
Well,
Whoever's hot at the last week of the season going into the playoffs is the team to watch out for.
So 2 years ago, Iowa ran through the Big Ten tournament and then lost in the first round.
Yeah, I know. Me and you were all over Iowa that year. We were all excited and everything.
I mean, I like the offense, but they just can't play defense.
Oh no, they can't for squat. Yeah.
Still, Sean likes them for tomorrow. Let's see what we got for tomorrow. We actually do have the Cougars playing tomorrow. Texas at Houston. Houston minus 11.5. This feels big to me, Sean. I kind of like Houston plus 11.5.
They went to overtime in Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, 11.5. What are we doing here?
It's a lot of points.
I think on ESPN it's down to 10.5.
Is it? So money coming in on Texas.
I mean, at this time,
it makes sense. I mean, that's a big number.
Yep.
I listen. Both teams aren't great spread wise. I would lean to the points there.
Yeah.
This is a no go for me. I have nothing on this game. I have other games that are. This is a marquee night matchup because it's Austin and Houston. It's a 2.5 hour drive, and Houston trying to make a name for the better program right now basketball wise. But
total 131.5. I'm going to lean a little over here.
I would say over.
Let's see. We got Marquette at UConn. Big East rivalry here. UConn minus 7.5. Is it down to 6.5 now?
6.5.
6.5 now. So
see how 1 hour changes everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's tough.
But that makes people take Marquette because you're going to look at it and be like, "Oh my goodness, look at this! How is this line this?"
Absolutely, I'm all over UConn.
I agree. I was talking about this game earlier. And I was like, I kind of like the over.
Yep.
It's gone up. And you look at the scores, you think it would be like a defensive kind of ugly game. But I don't know. I think the way UConn's playing, I don't want to take Marquette here.
Yeah, I mean, Shaka Smart's always good as a dog, but man, I know my team. Obviously, I can't bet on this game, Anthony, because if I bet on Marquette plus 6.5, UConn will win and cover. If I bet on UConn minus 6.5, Marquette will cover. That's just the way it is when I bet on my alma mater or against my alma mater.
Weekend. I didn't even know Tooch bet on him. I just looked at the score and Marquette was down 10. I was like, so I texted Tooch. I was like, you bet on Marquette, didn't you? He goes, guilty.
I threw him in a money line parlay versus who are they playing? St. John's? Yeah.
Something like
St. John's. Yep, at home. St. John's. Well, they're not going to lose,
No, of course not. Of course not.
Right. Let's see.
Last time they played, Marquette won 70-68 in the Big East tournament. So maybe
that was
a little
last
payback
year, right?
here.
Big East tournament, little payback for Connecticut. Let's see. It's a total of 148.5. Kind of feel like an over here, Sean.
I like the over in this game, yes.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Kansas, number 6. Kansas at 25, Oklahoma. Man, I love a home dog too here. I like Oklahoma. I like the way they're coached. Love Porter Moser. They play defense. They rebound. They run their offensive sets. Kansas been struggling a little bit on the road. They've got some injuries. They've had some injuries.
They're 0-4 in the Big 12. How are you? I don't care that they're 1 point favorite. You can't play them right now.
Nope.
They're injured. They're missed. The one guy's off the bench. He's hurt.
They're
And
not
he's
playing
been
good.
hurt. They're playing. They can't. It's like a big piece of the puzzle.
If Kansas wins, I will be shocked. They're the
will-
better team by far. Better coach, Hall of Famer.
Yep.
But I'm not running to the window to be like, oh, they just got to win today. I'd rather it's Oklahoma or pass.
I'm running to the window to bet Oklahoma. I'm sorry.
Over under 142 and a half.
I think it's a lot easier than it looks. A lot easier than it looks. It just you see Kansas. Oh, number 6 Kansas. Oh,
Yeah.
that looks way too easy. No, it's Oklahoma, and it's Oklahoma.
I like Oklahoma as well. At home, I like a home dog.
Until Kansas gets healthy again, you can't back them. You can't.
22, number 22, Kentucky, Auburn. Awful tough to play in the jungle down there in Auburn, although this line opened at 9.5, down to 7.5. Sean, what is that
I don't
public
care.
money? People love Kentucky. Are the sharps on Kentucky?
I Auburn in a rout.
Yeah, I agree.
mean,
Double-digit win for Auburn for me.
They're at home. They cover by double digits. Kentucky, no defense. Right, look at their losses. I mean, we went to
Right, they cannot
Gonzaga.
play.
They
Can't
lose to
stop
Gonzaga.
anybody.
90 points at Gonzaga.
Mm-hmm.
103-92 Tennessee. 94-91 Florida. 105-96 Georgia. 90-77 Mississippi State. 97-90 A&M. You don't think Auburn? I mean, did you see them last game? 101 versus South Carolina, who actually play. South Carolina actually plays defense.
Yes.
They dropped 101. I mean, Alabama, they rolled 99-81. Now, you might look at Alabama like, oh, they're 14-6. They're no good. Take a look at their schedule, who they played. Alabama played a NCAA tournament Sweet 16 schedule for their entire season. That's a damn good team.
Yeah, it is.
Auburn, Kentucky can't stop anybody. It is Auburn. You want to take the over as well, maybe worst case go 1-1, or Auburn pulls another 95 out of their spots. No, Kentucky. Good night. This is the same thing as them laying 16 or whatever they're laying to South Carolina. Be like, oh, look at all these points for a ranked team.
Yeah.
They win by double digits at home.
Yep.
It's that simple. And they got a team with no defense coming to town. I don't care how many 5-star recruits or NBA draft picks, lottery picks Kentucky has. They don't play defense.
They're young. They don't play defense.
They don't play defense.
I would.
Bruce Pearl's a hell of a coach too for Auburn, man.
I think Auburn's team total is like 84.5. I would lean over.
Yeah. Total 163.5 in this game. That actually feels low to me. But when I
think somebody's going to score 90. But again, I just think Auburn, because I think Auburn could win this one 85-66 and it stays under.
Yes. Yep.
I agree.
All right, you heard it here. You guys ready to give away some free plays?
Yep.
Why not? I know else to do on a Friday.
Plays. Let's do it. Where's my free
play? Open some cards.
Yeah. Here we go.
I cracked this bad boy open, 92 tops.
Yes. I was gonna. This is for another show coming up, but baseball futures to talk about coming up. They're going to spring training soon, Sean. We wanted to talk a little college basketball and Super Bowl recap today, so let's.
Cal Ripken on top.
Cal Ripken. Wait, Cal Ripken Jr., right?
Well, just as Cal Ripken, but it is actually Junior.
Okay.
It is him. It's hanging out. It was at Yankee Stadium, it looks like.
We got Sean's free play, Butler 3.5 versus Creighton again. System play, right, Sean? Unranked team at home versus a ranked team on the road.
Not only that, though, as I said earlier, we have Butler catching the same number they were catching from Marquette, who is, again, ranked a little higher.
Yep.
Same line, which is a little oddballish to me, right? Why would that line be that? Butler battled back twice in that game.
Yep.
Get it done at home here. Let's go. The Butler's going to do it today on a Saturday.
All right. Anthony's free play, Oklahoma money line versus Kansas. I like it too. For me, it's Oklahoma or nothing.
Yes.
I love Porter Moser.
He's from money. Don't overthink it.
Porter Moser from my hometown, Naperville, Illinois, coach of the Sooners. Tooch is free play, Auburn -7.5 versus Kentucky. I'm a Sean. That's a double-digit win for Auburn.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's down to 7.5. It opened at 9.5. I would like it there. I don't care. I'll take it now. 7.5. Dog of the day. We got Iowa money line versus Wisconsin. Wisconsin's tough, but again, system play here, right? Ranked team favored on the road versus an unranked team.
These are games you just have to play.
Yep.
Win or lose, there's going to be a bunch of them all season long.
Yep.
They win long term, like
Yep.
in bulk. What are we doing here? Wisconsin is 3-6 on the road.
It's a bad spot for Wisconsin. They're not going to be able to keep up with the Iowa.
This is like the
Iowa
Kansas game.
fun.
You can't take a team that is 3-6 on the road and they're favored, whether it be a 1 point fave, 1.5 point fave. I'll pick them. Them getting 1 point doesn't make a difference. This is fade Wisconsin on the road. They are 3-6 people.
The show 38, 33, and 4. Not bad. We have a winning record on the season so far for the show. Sign up for VIP, poundedsports.com. And with Sean winning free picks, right, Sean?
That's it. Winning free picks.
Winning free picks or picks and parlays. You can sign up with Sean's pick.
Either
What do you
one.
got today? You got a package today?
No,
Tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow.
I didn't have any, Friday, I didn't love anything. And right now, yeah, I got well, it's not up yet. I got 6 games. Well, we just talked about a couple of them here in Auburn, here in Butler. But yeah, I'll some games. I'll probably do my little late show tonight. I do the live show, midday money at noon. Late night money at midnight. 7 days a week.
Did you
If
see
I'm
my
awake, I'll be there.
morning?
I'm awake.
Best midnight show on YouTube.
Best midnight show on YouTube.
I agree, man. I agree.
The best live show at midnight Eastern time.
Yeah. If I'm awake, I'll be.
I get up
I'll
at
be there.
4 a.m. to walk the dog, and I put that on, and it says finished 3 hours ago. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
I'm just waking up.
Sometimes it goes an hour plus, man. I got to get out of there sometimes. Like today,
I know.
I did a show. I'm like, I took like 4 aspirin to lay on couch. I'm like, you're in front of the lights all the time. It hurts.
I forgot to recap. I just want to recap last week's plays because I think we were 4-0.
Oh, I think we were too. We
4-0 last week. So Sean had Michigan State -2.5 versus Illinois. That was a win. Anthony gave you Marquez Valdez-Scantling longest reception over 14.5 yards. That was a win. Tooch gave you Troy -5.5 versus Kent State. That was a win.
He loves his
And
Troy.
our dog of the day was Rutgers.
Doggy outright.
+4 versus Wisconsin.
That was an easy winner.
+4 versus Wisconsin. So 4-0 last week if you were watching the show. And then this week, hopefully we go 4-0 again.
Let's do it.
Never in doubt.
All right, fellas, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for coming again. I will run the close this time. I can't
Run the opening this time. Just confuse
everyone.
Yeah, do the opening.
No, that's all right. All right, fellas, take it easy.
Yeah, we're going.
Bye-bye.